Okay, good evening. This is the Walpole Zoning Board of Appeals. Tonight is Wednesday, November 5th. It is 7:00 p.m. We have a couple continuations that we're going to start with, and the first one is case number 25-2. This is for the site located on Sunset, 9 Sunset Drive. Does somebody want to make a motion to continue this case until January 7th, 2026 at 7 p.m. here at Town Hall with an extension of time until February 2nd?
So moved.
Moved by Judy.
Second.
Second by Mark. Any further discussion? Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstained, so carried. Okay. Next one is case number 22-11. This is Wall Street Development Corp. At Pinnacle Drive. And we have a letter from the applicant asking for an extension of time. Mr. Petroza, you asked for February 18th, but we're not meeting on that date. Okay. How's March 4th? That would be our next meeting after that. Okay. And with an extension of time until May 18th. Is that okay? Okay. Yeah, note that Ms. Conroy stepped down, recused herself from this part. The next case for Wall Street, what?
Vote.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, I haven't made the motion yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. Does somebody want to make a motion to continue the Pinnacle Drive hearing? This is the 40B hearing, until March 4th with a continuation of time until May 18th, 2026.
So moved.
Okay, moved by Tim.
Second.
Second by Mark. Any further discussion on that? That's because there's still hearings before the Conservation Commission. Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstained, so carried. Okay. So next we have the first hearing for tonight. Ms. Conroy, do you want to come back?
I was here for a while,
Yeah,
like usual.
back and forth. Okay, so who do we have here tonight from case number 25-8, 5 Swenson Circle? So I'm going to just, come on up, I want to just give you, I have to advise you, we're a 5-member board, and right now we have only 4 members. We're expecting another member to arrive shortly. We haven't heard that, yeah, Shane is not going to be here. We expect him to be here.
Yeah, he hasn't said that he wouldn't.
Okay. So, you need to have a supermajority vote, meaning you need to have all 4 members vote in favor of your proposal.
Okay.
If you waited for the 5th member to show up, you'd only need 4 out of 5. So I'm just giving, telling you that's the way the rules work. So I give you that
I'll go for it with
fact. Okay.
4, so.
And I think it's not a complicated case, I don't
Okay,
think. So.
yeah, it should be pretty straightforward.
Okay. If you want to, let me just read the legal notice as we always do. Notice is hereby given, the Board of Appeals, Town of Walpole will hold a public hearing in the Select Board Meeting Room, Town Hall, Wednesday, November 5th at 7 p.m. on the application of Adam McCone, case number 25-8, with property located at 5 Swenson Circle, Walpole, Mass., within the Residence B zoning district. The application is for a special permit under Section 123C of the Walpole zoning bylaws to allow for an addition that will increase the impervious coverage from 19.7% to 22.6% within the Area 1 of the Water Resource Protection Overlay District. All those are invited to come to the hearing. And that was posted in the Hometown Weekly 2 weeks prior to this. So we have the application, and we have a letter from Carl Baldoff, the town engineer, and he reviewed the plans, and in that he said that there are a couple things that he would comment on. One, he said, therefore, we have no reservations with approval, but he did say the board may wish to include 2 conditions: that the Cultex system be installed per the manufacturer's standard details, and that it be installed as a high and elevation as the standard detail will allow. Second point, require inspection to be performed by the engineering department and an as-built showing the system and addition to verify compliance. So normally what we would do is we would add those in the condition of approval. We have a letter from the fire department. The fire department has no comments regarding the plan. The home will be required to update the hardwiring, interconnected smoke alarm system, and carbon monoxide alarms as required according to the standards. Okay. So we have, before us, we have your plot plan and which your proposed addition and the Caltech system that you plan on installing. So if you want to explain what you're proposing to do.
Okay, sure. So for the record, my name's Adam McCone. I'm the homeowner and the applicant. So we're basically putting a two-car garage, or we want to put a two-car garage to the side of the house. It's angled mainly because of how the house is oriented on the lot. We would have gone over the 15-foot buffer on the side of the property, doing it straight with the house. We have an existing Caltech system that we put in back in 2021, which just happened at the same time as a patio. What prompted that was the rainstorm that impacted Norwood Hospital I was home for, and 3 downspouts worth of water was all coming down at the same time. And I was outside with a snow shovel trying to push the water out, so I decided to put a Caltech system in at the same time as my patio to so I didn't have an overflow issue like I did when I got 4 to 6 inches of rain. So I put that in 2021, and now we're looking at just putting a two-car garage on the side of the house, and pretty much using the same Caltech system, just putting 2 of them to account for the 1-inch rainwater requirement, I guess, a townhouse.
And that's because you're close to the water protection district.
Yeah, I'm in the Area 1 recharge district, I believe.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Thank you for the explanation. Does anybody have any questions on the plan or what's being proposed?
I just have a comment. We usually get a little drawing of what you're doing, and so all I have is the size of your proposed addition, which is fine, but I just,
Sorry.
that's okay. I didn't know if it was posted online or not.
What do you,
Like a schematic of what the garage is gonna look like.
but that's not what's before.
No,
us.
I know. But usually we've had them before, and they send us a little picture. That's all right.
So,
Okay.
Just the garage, not anything else in the addition?
Room above it, and then it's, connecting, so there's a mud room in between the garage and the existing house.
Got it.
The town engineers reviewed the plan, says that it meets the requirements, and we would add those 2 conditions, Lauren, if you would make note of those 2 conditions from the town engineer. Any other conditions on that? Okay. I think that's pretty straightforward. Okay. At this point, do you want to close the hearing? Okay.
Do you have public?
Oh, yeah. Is there anybody from the public that wants to comment on this? So, at the request of the applicant, does somebody want to make a motion to close case number 25-8 for 5 Swenson Circle?
So moved.
Moved by Judy,
Second?
second by Mark. Any further discussion on, this is just to close the hearing? Okay. All those in favor of closing the hearing, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstained, so carried. Now, does somebody want to make a motion to approve the special permit for 5 Swenson Circle under the water protection, water resource protection overlay district bylaw to allow the construction of the Caltech system for the rainwater to go underground, with the 2 conditions that were described by the town engineer.
So moved.
In the fire department.
And, yep, and,
Which,
yep.
it's just
Yep.
Fire alarms.
Yep, and the fire, and the fire department, and any standard conditions that we have, that we usually use for downspouts and things like that for a project like this. Okay. So, standard conditions, the two from the town engineer and one from the fire department. Anything else? Okay,
So moved.
moved by Judy,
Second?
second by Mark. Any further discussion on this one? Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, abstained, so carried. Okay. Well, good luck with your project. And thank you for having everything in order. It makes it go so much easier when it's all done correctly. Okay. Okay. Next case is Walmart for case number 25-9, Walmart 550 Boston Providence Highway. And do we have the Walmart people online?
Hello, my name is Jeff Davis with BB2 Architecture and Engineering. Excuse me.
Policeman's guy.
Okay, good evening. I'm going to just read the legal notice that we had, and then we will get to you. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Not a problem.
Okay. Notice is hereby given that the Board of Appeals, Town of Walpole, will hold a public hearing in the Select Board Meeting Room, Town of Walpole, Wednesday, November 5th at 7 PM on an application from Walmart, case number 25-9, with respect to property located at 550 Boston Providence Highway, Walpole, Mass., within the Highway Business Zoning District. The application is for a variance under Section 75C6 of the Walpole zoning bylaws to replace the 6 existing signs with 6 new signs and install 1 additional sign, bringing the total to 7 signs on the site. The total square footage for all new proposed signage will decrease from 554 square feet to 382 square feet. All those are invited and encouraged to attend the public hearing. We have a few pieces of correspondence. As you can imagine, this case goes back, way back for, it doesn't look like we have any, we don't have any other comments? Okay, but we do have a number of the old decisions that have been included in this, which I had time to review. So, Mr. Davis, do you want to explain what you're proposing, and if you have any images, if you can share them on the screen with us?
Well, let me, let me introduce myself. My name is Jeff Davis with BB2 Architecture and Engineering. I'm here for Jennifer Rose. I do not have a whole lot of a presentation. What I do have is I can talk about the purpose of the signs and what Walmart is planning to do. Walmart is planning to rebrand the store, so they want to basically shake up the existing signs on the building. So they basically split the Walmart and Spark. They got rid of the Spark on the pickup sign, and also consolidated and condensed a lot of the signs on the building. So Vision Center will now be just Vision. Lawn and Garden is now condensed down to outdoor. The only outlier would be the word pickup, because currently on the building is the sign is over the entrance. It says grocery and pharmacy. And pharmacy, that grocery and pharmacy sign is going to be changed to grocery and home. And then the pharmacy sign is going to move over a little bit off the side. So generally the purpose of the signs are more informational for the customers already in the parking lot. Since the store is over 800 feet away from the right-of-way, and it's surrounded by hillside and trees around the building. The purposes of the signs are not more for advertising, is to let the customers know that already in the parking lot that of the services that are inside the store itself. So Walmart wants to keep pretty much what it has, just do an alteration to the grocery and pharmacy and call that grocery and home, and then move the pharmacy off to the other side. Also, if we got rid of the pharmacy, then it could cause confusion with the populace saying that there's no more pharmacy inside the store itself.
Okay. So as and we also note that the square footage of the signs is decreasing from what's there already.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Part of the application shows existing site signs 3 to be repainted and given face changes only. I recognize the, I guess you call them multi-tenant signs, I recognize that. I didn't see, is there a big Walmart pylon sign there?
As far as I know, there are 2 of the multi-tenant signs, and it looks like there is a single tenant Walmart sign located along Route 1. Yes, I see it. It's a externally illuminated sign. It's got the like the gull wings at the bottom of the sign that project light up on the sign itself. So that sign will be painted. The light fixtures, if they have not already been done so, will be changed to light emitting diodes, LEDs, and the face would just change. Basically, the Walmart blue would be relatively the same color. The word Walmart would remain, the spark would go away. But no other changes to the structure, height for the sign will happen.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. Do you have anything else to add on this, Mr. Davis?
No, sir. I believe that is it. I'm willing and able to take any questions that you have.
Okay, thank you. Stand by for some questions possibly. Okay, board members, do you have any questions on this?
Pretty straightforward.
You worked at it when it was an ice rink.
Car auction.
Yeah, car auction.
Yeah, I guess maybe just a comment that while usually the bar for variances are pretty high, we have previously made exceptions on Route 1 when it comes to signage, because this obviously deals entirely with that. So, yeah, I think overall I'm not concerned with anything here.
Yeah, I also recognize that the square footage of the signage is decreasing, and really the signs that are there are getting refaced, and it's very reasonable, and we want to encourage business in town, so.
Agreed.
Okay, anybody have anything else?
I have no problem with it.
Good.
I've seen other Walmarts with the same signs, and it's just a wayfinding situation, tells you where to park.
Okay. Is there anybody from the public here to comment on this? Yes, Mr. Crowley.
Jim Crowley, Building Commissioner. The only question I'd have for the applicant, we just got it this week, is, I don't know if he's aware, Subway is going into Walmart. Are they going to have exterior signs? Because do they want to do that now, or are they going to be coming forward back again for extra signs? Because we just got the application this week, so Subway's going in there. Are they going to have external signs or internal signs on that one?
Okay. Mr. Davis, did you hear that comment?
Yes, sir, I did. Generally, I mean, I'm not familiar with the particulars of this. I don't even know if it's our architect firm that's doing the Subway or not. I can speak to this as a former Walmart associate, and I worked in the exterior sign team as a Walmart employee for 12 years. Walmart's with the tenants, they are allowed one sign on the building that cannot exceed 20 square feet. and it's generally up to the tenant itself, Subway, to apply for their own sign on the building. So Walmart pretty much has a little bit of a hands-off policy with their signs. They don't want to touch them, because usually if Walmart touches them, it becomes their sign and they're responsible for it.
So that's, if in the future Subway needs to have a sign, or they want to have a sign on the outside, they'll have to come to the zoning board for relief for that, so. But I don't think that's what the issue is tonight, but Mr. Crowley, thank you for bringing that to our attention tonight. Okay. Okay. Mr. Davis, if you don't have anything else to add, the way we do this is you can decide to close the hearing tonight, and we would vote on closing it, and then we can probably vote on, and see if the board will approve this variance.
I say we can go ahead and close the discussion.
Okay. At the request of the applicant, does somebody want to make a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
Moved by Judy,
Second.
second by Mark. Any further discussion on, this is just to close the hearing, and I'll note that we now have 5 members that will be voting on this. Good evening, Shane.
Good evening.
So,
I think we still got to do 4.
I think I missed the first part.
oh, okay. I didn't know when you came in. So, okay, it's still a 4-person board for this one. Okay, so this is just to close the hearing. All those in favor of closing the hearing, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstained, so carried. Okay, the hearing is closed. Now, does somebody want to make a motion to approve case number 25-9 for the variance for the signs in the highway business district for Walmart?
So moved.
Moved by Judy,
Second?
second by Mark.
Procedural question?
Yeah,
Are
I
there
want to
any?
add something.
Oh, yeah, other things to add.
I'm going to reference the plans that, this is all based on the plans that were submitted, and those plans are dated, the date, I'm just looking for a revision, yep. The date is, the plan by PB2 Architect and Engineers dated May 7th, 2025. What else did you have, Judy?
Did we have to address the 3 conditions for variance? And
We can, if you want.
I just didn't know if it needs to go in the decision.
But it'll be in the decision that it meets the,
Found no reason for them to be detrimental, right? Without,
So-
we write it that way?
so-
Okay.
I mean, we can discuss it, but we do have standard
Right.
wording that we would use in this, and it is that it is not detrimental to the neighborhood, it is not trying to get around existing zoning, and the third point is that it is, it has to do with the geography or the topography and the hardship of the property, and this is that it's in the highway business district.
That's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So, with the reference of the plan and obviously the findings that it is, it meets the level for the variance, and also recognizing that this has been, previous signage has been approved, and please note in the plan, in the decision, that the square footage decreases in this application. Okay. Does somebody want to make a motion to that effect?
We did.
We already did? Okay. So, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstained, so carried. Okay. Okay, good luck with your signage.
Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Davis. Okay. Next case we have is case number 25-10, Wall Street Development Corporation. And, yep, note that Ms. Conroy is stepping down, and There was a legal notice. Notice is hereby given that the Board of Appeals, Town of Walpole, will hold a public hearing in the main meeting room of the Town Hall on Wednesday, November 5th at 7 PM on the application from Wall Street Development Corp., case number 25-10, with respect to property located off Brook Lane, Union Square Village, Walpole, Mass., within the general residence zoning district. The applicant is requesting an administrative appeal of a notice of violation, cease and desist, dated August 26, 2025, issued by the building commissioner regarding the prevention of construction access from before the Union Square housing development via Burns Ave. All those are invited to and encouraged to review the plans and come to the meeting. So what we have is, we have a memorandum from Wall Street Development explaining the position of Wall Street Development, and we also have a second one dated September 12th about the construction access on Burns Ave. And we have another one, also September 12th, talking about special permit does not prohibit the use of Burns Ave for egress from the development site. And we have the cease and desist notice, and this is all based on decisions that have been granted in the past. So, so this is an appeal of the building inspector's decision for the cease and desist, so we'll start out with the applicant in this one, Mr. Petrosi.
Good evening. Lou Petrosi for Wall Street Development Corp. Sorry we have to have this conversation tonight, but apparently there is some disagreement regarding the wording that was noted on the site plan. Excuse me. As you probably know, that when we designed the project, we have a cul-de-sac at the end of, extends from Brook Lane to the end of where Burns Avenue ends. During previous 40B application, there was
Can
always...
you use the microphone? Some people can't hear you.
During the previous applications, when we were considering the 40B projects, there was conditions that would have precluded access or egress from the project to Burns Avenue. When the special permit was issued, that condition was no longer enforced or no longer applicable to the project. We have, on occasion, utilized Burns Avenue for egress out to Pleasant Street. It's not a constant situation, but we have used it in the past during conditions that seem to be appropriate. There seems to be there's a note on the site plan that mentions no construction access from Burns Avenue, from Pleasant Street. There's no condition or no notation that affects the egress from the project to Pleasant Street, down Burns Avenue. So the building inspector and I, we've had several discussions about it. Obviously, he's the person that controls the interpretation. You folks are the arbiters of the disagreements. But I think there's several aspects to this that need to be, well, they don't need to be, but it would be helpful if we could establish the fact that access and egress are not the same. They don't mean the same thing. Access means entering, egress means leaving. So I don't know how you could construe that note on the plan to be both. But notwithstanding that particular issue, what is construction access? What does that mean? I mean, this is potentially for future edification in certain other applications. I'm sure it comes up quite a bit, but, construction access does not mean no access. It just means no movement of construction equipment, machinery, job materials, and things. That's what construction access means. So it doesn't mean no access, and it doesn't mean that we can't use Burns Avenue. It's a public way. So I'm not here to argue either way, but I think it's important that the distinction be made. What access means and what egress means are two different things. And it's clear, you can look at any kind of legal matter, and there is a distinction between the two. So I don't want to make it a big issue because it's not important issue with respect to the project, but we do sometimes have a need for it's more convenient because of the activity that's going on one end of the site to access from one end and egress the other side. And it's strictly a matter of convenience from time to time. We have it gated off at the request of the building commissioner. We have it gated off, and there's a lock on the gate, and we occasionally may use it, but it's not something that we practice. It's not something that we encourage, but we do on occasion use it for egress. No one is coming in that way. There's been an occasion recently where my site contractor was worried about trucks staging themselves on Pleasant Street, not knowing where they were going, and he drove up and down, and there were a couple of trucks that came in from Pleasant Street down Burns Avenue. Strictly an honest mistake. They didn't know where they were going. The GPS, unfortunately, doesn't have Powder House Lane on the GPS maps, so sometimes when they punch in to get to Powder House Lane, they can't find it, and then they are looking for it. And so instead of driving around, they're staging themselves somewhere with their engines running. Could be on Pleasant Street, could be on Burns Avenue, could be on Union Street. They don't know. But we're trying the best we can. We're not trying to aggravate the situation. We're just simply trying to do what we can to be, from a reasonable standpoint, in the best interests of everything that's going on there. It is a very active construction site right now, and sometimes one side of the project is obstructed and requires us to use the other side for egress. And that's really kind of it. Going forward, there is, like I said, Burns Avenue is a public way, and we haven't decided yet on how to utilize that as a potential, at least for emergency access anyways, to allow emergency vehicles to get in and out of that site. So we're just trying to do what we can without trying to make a situation any more unfavorable to the neighbors and so on and so forth. So that's really our situation. So, and like I said, there's nothing adversarial here. It's really just I think a point that needs to be discussed. And like I said, going forward, perhaps this situation comes up in some of our other projects, and you may want to clarify it a little bit more detail. We're not trying to avoid something. We're just trying to do the best we can. So whatever the board decides, it's certainly not going to affect too much about what we're doing, but it would be nice to have the opportunity to do both on occasion, either by making a phone call, notifying the building inspector, or something along those lines that allows us some flexibility rather than congestion on the job site. So that's really all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Petrosi. And as we know, in this case, the zoning board is sitting as an adjudicating board. So we've heard from the applicant of the appeal, and now we can hear from the building inspector.
Thank you. Jim Crowley, Building Commissioner. We sent a notice out that Burns Ave was being used based on the notation that is in the accepted site plan. So just give some background on this. This originally, as everybody knows, started as a 40B project, was put in as some of the conditions on it with no access and signage put out on Pleasant Street that no construction vehicles come down. The applicant came back and went from a 40B to a 40A, went before the planning board. They never put any conditions in writing as in their special conditions, but it was still left on the plans, that notation. And under the site plan, under section 13, it's the approved site plan, and that is what I enforce, and that's what I use to protect the neighbourhood and also the developer. But on that notation, it does have the same notation that was in the 40B, which says no construction access allowed via Burns Ave and install temporary signs on Pleasant Street. As for construction access, basically the whole intent of construction access is not just for material and vehicles, but it's the workers, the implementation of people driving down to the site, because in the morning time on a construction site, you could have 10 cars, 15 cars, 20 cars of workers driving in on site. So usually before a site plan or a project like this, we sit down, have a department head meeting usually, and go to and give our opinion to the planning board for a construction management plan to see how you access the site. A lot of these things were taken off the original 40B, and that's where the site plan came from. But as for this, and to Mr. Petrosi's, on access or exiting, it's very similar. Yeah, it is. Access and exiting are two different things, but when it comes to zoning, construction access does inform that not to go down that road, either enter or leave, because if you can't access a site with construction vehicles, then they won't be leaving that way, is the intent of it. And then also with the intent of the way it's written, if we're going to go to, if Mr. Petrosi is correct in saying, well, I can't egress it, the way it was written, it says no construction access allowed via Burns Ave. To where? It doesn't say no access to Powder House. It doesn't say no access to the building site. It just says no access via Burns Ave. So entering the site is access, and if it's leaving with a truck or a dump truck or material to go to another site, you're still using Burns Ave to access that other site. It doesn't specifically, if we're going to go to the semantics of the wording, it could go either way. As we know, when it comes to zoning, wording, verbiage is not the same as basically normal speech, to the point of Mr. Petrosi said about that in the dictionary, access is one, exit is another, which is correct. But as we know in zoning, may and shall move around a lot. It doesn't mean exactly what may means, doesn't mean exactly what shall means. In zoning wise, it is an odd term to be using. So the same with access, it's what is implied. We've always put it in our zoning and our 40Bs and any approved plans in this town and other towns. Majority of towns, I've looked into a few other towns around that have put these conditions in, it always says construction access, because it is implied that if you're going to enter the building on this street, you are going to leave the building on this street. And I believe that's what the intent of it, and that's what the notation in the original 40B and in the new 40A is, that Burns Ave was not meant to be used for entrance or exiting. But if Mr. Petrosi does want to use Burns Ave now and again, he has the right to reapply and get a modification to it. Because it's through the site plan, he's two options. One is he applies to the building department to request it, and we deem it if it's a minor or major modification, or if we deem that the board should be making this decision in front of themselves, decide if they're going to make it as a minor or major modification. So they have the right to alter it as well. He has that avenue as well. But as I see it, and the way that it implies to me, no construction allowed means either in or out. If he wants to go on the semantics of it, again, it just says no access through Burns Ave. It doesn't say to what site. So in or out, I believe with the verbiage, it's caught. And we've always put that no access to the site on other projects, no staging on side roads, which again, they're public roads, but we still have the right as a town to say you can't stage on these roads, disrupt the neighbourhood. Same with moving big trucks in and out. You can't come down a road. The town, I believe, has the right to say we're going to give you a different access point. And again, a developer has the right to come to the department heads prior to getting a site plan, and we will always have recommended it to come with a site management plan, a construction management plan. So to dictate your deliveries, your movement around, we can preemptively look at this before it goes in front of the boards to say, yeah, the fire department agree, the police agree, building department, engineering department all agree on where you're entering or exiting the property. So my intent and what I believe is we're enforcing obviously this approved site plan under section 13. It wasn't written in the special conditions, but it's still on the approved site plan that says no access, construction access allowed via Burns Ave. And I believe that that's where the intent of where I said the cease and desist, and I believe I was in the right doing so. Thank you.
Okay. Is there anybody from the public that wants to comment on this? Yes.
Faith Rando, resident on Burns Ave. So I have concerns about the construction on the road. I have school children who walk up the road for school hours, 8 to 4. And like they mentioned, there's already been a sign on our street for no construction all this time. I work at home. The sounds have been disruptive with those trucks going back and forth a few months ago. The fencing, the gate was open many times. I feel it's not safe for children, my children who are elementary age, and then there's toddlers on the street as well. And also the construction early hours. It's been disruptive to sleep. So those are my concerns. Thank you.
One question on, you said this construction early hours. Is that before the hours of construction are allowed based on the
What are the
decision?
hours allowed?
7 a.m.
Oh, yeah, it is before 7.
Before 7?
6 wakes me up.
Okay, well, if that's, we're not talking about that issue tonight, but and that's a separate issue, you should be notifying the building and the zoning enforcement on that.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else want to comment? Mrs. Campbell, good evening.
Good evening, Kathy Campbell, 3135 Burns Avenue. I want to just speak a little bit about the note that's on page 7. I know that this was a very in-depth conversation. I know that the town engineer was insistent that this note be placed on this page during the special permitting, that there would be no construction access on Burns Avenue. And I just, obviously, supporting the building commissioner's request to cease and desist. And just for the record, on October 6th, a fence company came down Burns Avenue, put a fence on our property, and then left Burns Avenue. So if Mr. Petrosi is saying he's only going to egress out, that's not happening. 10:29 at 7:19 in the morning, the fourth construction vehicle truck came down Burns Avenue, which I did submit to zoning because they came down Burns Avenue, four large trucks picking up large loads of loom. They actually were staged like blocking our driveway as they were pulling down. They pulled in, got their loom, turned around, and came back down. Some of them went out Brook Lane, but at 7:18 there was 4 trucks. I did notify Mr. Crowley, and I think until he got down there, there was at least nine vehicles that had come down Burns Avenue. So, I support the no construction down Burns Avenue. Access to Burns Avenue means you're accessing Burns Avenue. And I don't think the street, I am not an engineer, but the piece of property that, as you exit the project, there's Conroy's driveway there, and that is not necessarily a well-tarred area, and it's probably going to ruin that whole piece. So thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, So, we don't get a lot of these cases, but the way we normally do it is we would, a board member would make a motion in the affirmative, so it would be a motion to uphold the building inspector's violation notice of cease and desist dated August 26, 2025. That's what we would be actually voting on. It's either we vote to uphold the decision, or we overturn the building inspector. What's your actual title? What is it? It's not building inspector. Commission, the building commission. I don't know, you always use it differently, so.
He wears both hats.
He wears both hats. So, Patrick, is there anything else I should be aware of on this, from your perspective?
Really not. I mean, this is the interpretation question between the commissioner and the applicant.
Yeah, so the board, as I said already, we're an adjudicating board, we sit in judgment, we've heard both sides. We can discuss it. I also look at the decision, the wording that was used. I'm also very aware of the intent that all that was done in, and to me, it's pretty clear that the intent always was that there should be no vehicles on Burns Ave from this site. That's what I recall at the hearings. Anybody have any other thoughts on that?
I think I would agree. It sounds to me as if the intent all along was to keep all construction vehicles off of Burns Avenue. Whether they're going in or out, I don't think is really a point here. And I do think it makes sense that if they're going out, they had to get in. And I don't know how open that Burns Way to Brook Lane area is, but if the applicant is saying that it's easier, I think the word used was more convenient to go in one side than the other, that to me says you're still able to go in the other way. And it just feels like, based on some of the neighbor testimony, that this is kind of being pushed as far to the limit as possible, and I think it needs to be enforced. As it's clearly there on the plan for a reason. And the applicant does have other avenues, as the building commissioner pointed out, to get that changed if it is a true hardship for him in his project.
Okay. Okay, anything else? So at this point, does somebody want to make a motion to uphold the building commissioner's violation notice, cease and desist, dated August 26, 2025?
Do you want to close public hearing?
Yes, I do. Thank you. Mr. Petrosi, do you want to close the hearing?
Oh, sure.
Okay. So, at the request of the applicant, does somebody want to make a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
Moved by Tim,
Second?
second by Mark. Any further discussion on closing the hearing? Okay. All those in favor of closing the hearing, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstained, so carried. Okay. Next, will somebody make a motion to uphold the building commissioner's violation notice, cease and desist, dated August 26, 2025?
So moved.
Moved by Shane,
Second.
second by Mark. Any further discussion on this? Okay. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstained, so carried. Okay, so the decision is upheld. Okay. Okay. Good. Next case we have is case number 25-11 for Car Barn, 2216 Boston Providence Highway. Do we have the applicant here for that? Okay, good evening.
How we doing?
Good, come on up. I'm going to read the legal notice. We'll go through a few things, then I'll turn it over to you.
Sure.
For, hey. Okay. Notice is hereby given that the Board of Appeals, Town of Walpole, will hold a public hearing in the Select Board meeting room on Wednesday, November 5th at 7 PM on the application of Car Barn, case number 25-11, with respect to property located at 2216 Boston Providence Highway within the Highway Business Zoning District. The application is for a special permit under Section 5B14E of the Walpole zoning bylaws to allow the sale of automobiles. All those are invited and encouraged to review the plans prior to the public hearing. Nope, the room is empty, so.
I don't know.
We know why.
So, we have the narrative from asking for the special permit from the zoning board. We have a few pieces of correspondence. The Board of Health says health has no additional comments. Required septic system application has been submitted and approved. We have a letter from the fire department, and this is from Deputy Chief Alan Hoover. If this, his comment is, if this will increase the amount of vehicles stored inside building, inside building, a letter from engineer or the engineer of record will be required to show that there is adequate fire protection for the additional fuel load. If there is no increase in vehicle storage, no action will be needed. And we have a copy of the plan that was previously approved and a copy of the decision that allowed this. So, with that, if you want to explain what you're proposing and why you're here asking for the special permit.
Yes, so our business is the car barn, and there's...
Just introduce yourself for the record.
George Wetterow. I'm the owner and founder of the car barn. So the business, the three main revenue streams are going to be detailing, storage, and it's imperative that we try to get our dealership license as well. So cars will come in. We don't conduct any maintenance or anything like that on site. And the idea is for us to be able to sell them and also accommodate clients who might be storing a car with us that they maybe are searching for another car or a car that they're trying to sell as well. So for us to help accommodate that service.
Okay. Thank you for that explanation. Will you have signs outside saying,
So
cars
it'll
for
be
sale?
appointment only, and there won't be any advertising outside. No cars will be parked outside. We've got plenty of space inside to just park, and we don't plan on having a huge, massive inventory of cars that we're selling. There might be 3 or 4 over the course of the years that we're open, and these cars will come in, they'll be serviced, brought back to us, detailed, marketed, and then sold on platforms like Bring a Trailer, mostly because that appeals to the entire country compared to just locally. I'd love to be able to just have the car and just sell it locally, which that would be the plan once we build the brand up and we have a lot of notoriety, just to be able to sell it at the number that we need to make money.
So you don't have any intention, though, to have like a retail car lot and a bunch of
God,
cars?
no,
Right.
no,
Okay,
no.
that's what I
Yeah.
thought. And Bring a Trailer I'm familiar with. So are
Yeah.
you sourcing and connecting buyers with the car they want to find?
Correct,
Is that,
yeah.
so kind of
Yeah.
like a concierge type service?
Yep, and there'll probably be a handful of cars that we source ourselves and we sell, but I don't foresee us having a huge, like.
wanna
the-
carry that
the
inventory.
majority of our building just stacked with cars for sale.
Yeah, and so you referenced the fire suppression systems, and what is the limit, number of limit?
Well, it was designed, and they would.
For the fuel load, right?
Right.
Right.
So are you going to, and this goes to the deputy chief, so that's what I was going to
Yeah.
specifically ask you. Are you going to have more cars there than you currently have?
Definitely not, no. And like, we have quad stack lifts that are up against the wall, 17 of them, and all of them have suppression integrated into each level. Yeah.
How many cars do you have inside?
I think on day one, we could probably fit comfortably 100 or so.
And what is the capacity based on the fire prevention?
We can keep adding lifts to the building, and I think the capacity would be like 150 or so, comfortably.
Interesting.
Judy?
What's the approved number you have now? Because if you're gonna, if it's more than what the fire department
Yeah.
knows
I
about.
don't remember there ever being like an approved number, but the numbers that I'm communicating have been the numbers we've been communicating to the fire department and everything.
Okay, I'm seeing a real gray area here. I like
Yeah.
to see something written down. Tell us how many you're gonna put in there. Make sure that's okay with Deputy Hoover. Because if you're not gonna have anything outside and everything's inside, but now it sounds like you're increasing your inside capacity.
Well, like,
if-
my
if he's-
understanding on the suppression system is it's all coming down from above and it covers a certain surface area. So we're not, adding a couple cars on the ground shouldn't affect, we're not putting coverage on the cars or anything. The suppression system sprays down and it covers a certain surface, the entire surface area of the facility. And then when the lit cars are on the lift, each car has, I think, over 4 nozzles that are spraying directly onto each tier of car. So it's a really intense suppression system that we've gone and we've communicated all this stuff with the fire department.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, what Alan Hoover has said, if this will increase the amount of vehicles, what is your current approved amount in our prior decision? It has.
I'll get you guys that number
I need to
tomorrow.
know that, because if.
Yeah.
It's really not, so that element, so why you're here is basically you're seeking to do auto sales.
Yes.
And so what really matters after this,
Yeah.
if he's approved, is that you would need to get a Class 2 license through the
Yeah.
select board. So if the vehicles are going to be entirely within the building, I think a number that would be imperative to the board would be how many vehicles at one particular time would be for sale. So the capacity of the building's really not your, I guess, area. It's
Yeah.
more or less what is being sold and how much would be sold. So if you're looking to sell no more than 5 vehicles or something like that, that would be a condition. It would be tied to your license.
Yeah, there wouldn't be more than 2 or 4 cars for sale at a given time.
You follow?
And that's at
No.
like the height of operating, because these cars are coming in and then they're out, and then we're finding another car, we're taking that money, we'll put it into a different car, and so on and so forth. So it's not like we're gonna have an additional 20 cars for sale or anything like that over the time.
How do the cars get there?
Trailer, or just, I've had a lot of local people in Walpole reach out as well. But it's mostly flatbed truck, where people just drive them. Like a lot of people in the city in Boston might not have the space in their garage there, or they're paying a crazy high fee, double what
Right.
they'd pay for us. So if they have their weekend car, it's a no-brainer to just have it stored with us. So they'll drop it off usually around this time of the year in October or so, and then pick it up in the spring.
Where do they, if it's flatbed trailers, they load and unload on your property or on the street, or how does that work?
We have enough room for the trucks to come in, and then there's a road around the entire building for them to, there's plenty of space.
Yep.
We fought to really make the entrance wider in the beginning, but there was something with MassDOT not allowing us to do that, even though from time to time, we'll have bigger equipment coming in. But there's adequate space for the flatbed truck to pull in and drop the load and leave.
How about a multi-car carrier, like one of those 6-car carriers?
There's space in there for an 18-wheeler,
Yeah,
should be,
okay.
yeah. Yeah, the goal would never to be to stop on Route 1.
Right.
Worst case, we would find a safer spot, I don't know, Gillette parking lot or something like that, I don't know.
Gotcha.
To accommodate that.
So I think we've got a lot of good questions that are being brought up, but we have to go back to what the zoning board's looking at, and that is, we're looking at a special permit under 3B14C, which specifically about the use.
E.
What's that?
5B14E.
I'm
B looks
looking
like
for
a
the-
C.
I'm looking it up now.
4E,
5B.
5B1, 4E. So while he's doing that, can I ask a question?
Go ahead,
So
sure.
if we're talking about use, then my concern of storage or excessive storage or additional storage of vehicles will be addressed at the license level. So Alan Hover might make the same comment if there's additional vehicle storage. You're saying there isn't, but it's, to me, it's, what's the max they're ever gonna have? Just tell me it's gonna be 100. If he's satisfied with 100, I'm okay with 100. But if it's gonna be 103 or 120, then I think
So
I would like the fire
I
department to
reached
be able
out to
to.
the select board just because usually when these cases come, it's somebody doing a second, a used auto sales, and it's a
Right.
lot. You're looking at, hey, I got 24 spaces, I'm looking to sell 24 cars. The board will usually condition, no more than 24 cars at sale at one time. And so when the select board gets it, they take the zoning board's decision and they incorporate that into their, into the class 2 license. In this situation, I guess my thought is if this is, I guess, a multifaceted business, right? You're storing vehicles, you want the ability to sell, you're doing detailing. For the board's concern, and to your concern, Judy, is, all right, are we selling all of them? Are you looking to only sell 5? If your capacity is, I can only have no more than 100 vehicles, then of those 100 vehicles, hypothetically, 5 could be for sale at any one time. There's no additional vehicles being entered. Or you could condition as such, that
Correct.
what is there is what you get, and if you look to sell, I put 5, could do 10, whatever. That should be probably the
Okay.
condition of approval.
Are hours of operation under us or the select board for the license?
That would be
It's the license.
general bylaws.
It may be the select board just
Select board,
because
yeah.
they
Just
issue the
asking. Yeah.
license.
No, I think these are all good questions, and I want to just read what it actually says right in the zoning bylaw. This is section E. Sales room, it falls into this category, and the special permit for the highway business district is a special permit with the zoning board. And it says, sales room for automobiles, boats, trailers, trucks, farm implements, or machinery with repair services, parentheses, all vehicle storage areas must be paved and be equipped with gas traps. All vehicles will be required to park on paved surfaces, end parentheses. So that's specifically what we're looking at, and the question is, would we grant a special permit for this use, at the site? So what they're looking for is, I believe, sales room for automobiles, which is a little different than the current use of the
Sure.
property, which is just storage, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, where he said it is not gonna increase the number of vehicles. The vehicles will come in and out maybe differently, but it's, it's not increasing the number. And, everything's paved, on your site? You're not
Yes, sir.
parking, yeah.
Yep.
I'm comfortable with us granting the special permit, which is the first, then he has the other step of going to the select board for the actual license.
Yeah.
I am too.
John, question, he, doesn't sound like he's asking for repairs, but for what you just read, it said that he would be eligible for repairs.
That is true. So,
Yeah, my understanding is that we have to have a connection with some type of shop, which I do, multiple shops.
So we
to
could
Be
condition,
able to service, like,
Yeah,
every single
condition.
car, like, these aren't all 6-figure cars. But the standard we're trying to have is 10 out of 10 condition. All these cars will be serviced prior to them being sold.
Okay.
So I have a number of shops I've just known for years that are within, which will help us out, certainly with that aspect.
okay. So I think, would you
gonna
want to have a
stay.
condition that says,
Yes, because in another life, I issued licenses, and we pulled a license because somebody was selling cars and their customers didn't have access to go back to the sales source to get their cars fixed.
Yeah.
So you say you
That's
don't
if
have,
there's an issue, like I gave you a car, like I think it's the lemon rule or something, where I gave you a car that we had
right, but this,
maybe messed up or I didn't, I'm telling you that everything's perfectly fine and you take it home and everything falls apart. But yeah, that would be done at the service center that we have all the service done. Done
Which is not on
it's
site.
not on site.
Which is not on
So
site,
that's,
no.
that's where I think we have to condition that it, because that's what the
We certainly
zoning
have the
book says.
capabilities to do it on site. I just figured the last thing I need is to hire full-time mechanic and to go through all the other hoops of just being able to service cars. Not to mention the building's already constructed, so to add in everything I need to, oil separators and everything else to have the service done, at this point would be really difficult. Yeah.
So, what you would like to see is a condition that says service is not allowed on the site.
Repairs,
no,
Repairs.
repairs,
because that's what the
Have to be
word that
offered
you
to
read
the
was
customer.
repairs, right?
so they're either on site typically, because
But-
you're selling a car to somebody.
But what he's
Or-
saying is it's not going to be
It's
on
not going to be
site.
on site, so.
It is a used car as well. It's not like we're a
Well, these
Ford
were used
dealer.
cars, sir.
Yeah.
Yep. Mhm. So I'm not sure how to word that. 'cause
I think it
you
can be
have to have-
worded, it would be a condition of approval, but the approval would say, we're approving the request for the special permit, but with the condition that says, no repairs are to take place on site.
No, that's
yeah.
not what I'm talking about.
What are you talking about?
Because when the next board issues a license, the reason you have repairs, they have to be available to the customer that buys the used car. You could have someplace fix that car, 10 out of 10 points, special, whatever you call it. The customer buys the car, something happens, they have to go back to the point of sale. So the point of sale, if they don't have service, then they have to be able to know where are they going to go.
Sure,
So
and
that
I would tell you, you buy a car from me, you have all these flurry of issues, I'm sending my flatbed truck to pick your car up, to bring it to the service center, where it was or previously serviced.
Okay.
It's kind of back to what John was saying. So no repair services on site, but legally, if he has to take care of a repair, that's almost something that kind of goes above.
That's not
That's not a zoning
not a
board
per-
thing
yeah,
typically,
right,
right?
right.
That's, whoever's issuing the license usually would condition it with, you gotta fix cars if if they're broken. and
Yeah.
so. I think we do need to include no service on site if that's not what's being applied for here.
Yeah. What he's applying for is a sales room. It's basically
Right.
a sales room for automobiles, but no, you don't do service on them.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we can word that. Patrick, do you have any problem, do you see any problem where we approve section E, but then have a caveat, the condition that says we can't, you get approval for section E,
Yeah.
but except for the repairs?
So, that kind of goes back to what Mark and Shan were mentioning. I don't know if that kind of what Judy also mentioned too. Does that supersede the board's authority in the sense that if you're legally required to, I don't know.
Illegally, what?
Whether to provide repair services or not. That's something that's kind of out of our scope.
It's like a warranty almost.
I mean, there's a lot of liability too on the purchaser as well. Like, I know a lot of people who have bought really expensive cars from very prestigious dealers that are all screwed up, and the dealer doesn't really do much for them too.
And the condition also says with repair services, not shall have repair services or, or
Okay.
it's a requirement that it needs to have repair services.
Like a trailer.
So.
Yeah, if you buy it on
It's
Bring a
your-
Trailer,
So,
sight
yeah, so
unseen.
I think we're making more of this than we need to, just because I buy a car and bring a trailer. It's gonna come from across the country, and it falls apart.
It's on you.
It's on me. Like, That's the expectation I have as a consumer. It's not a traditional dealership is what I can understand here, and I don't know that any person selling a car is required to provide service either. So I don't think that's for us to discuss. It's just whether or not we're going to allow for this use or not.
Okay. Do you see a need for, yeah, do you see a need for us to say that repairs will not take place on site?
I think we're undoing our
Honestly,
own zoning.
no, but I'm willing to if that's a condition that the board's comfortable with, I'm fine with it.
I would feel that if we knew repairs were being conducted on site, there would be other things we would want to know about the building and about
Yeah, if you're opening it up,
equipment and
And
disposal.
it's
and,
also in the Water Protection Overlay District.
Correct.
Right, so,
Right. So I would be more comfortable, actually, if it was not being performed on site. 'Cause, yeah.
Oh, and I get that.
Right, 'cause
I
Yeah,
get
like
that.
there's
That's
my
what it
neighbor,
is.
what's
Talking
it
about
called?
storage,
The auto
that's-
shop.
I'm saying that, that's what he's saying.
The
So I
auto
think
shop
we're good.
right next to
Yeah.
me.
That's where my
Okay,
head is.
yeah, I'm all right.
Okay, so would people be comfortable approving Section E, which I already read, and then with a condition that says that repair services will not be done on site? Would you be comfortable with that?
No,
Why?
because you're undoing zoning, you're undoing the reason for the language in our zoning book.
but if you grant them repairs, now you're getting into oils and
No,
liquids and
I understand
everything
that,
else.
but I think it just ties to the license, so I will admit I
So
didn't
you think
review
the
my
selectmen are
license.
gonna dig into the-
With,
Class 2, Class 3 licenses, you're looking for a Class 2
Mhm.
for sales only.
Yeah, buying used cars, selling, yep.
I think it just contradicts itself, we say.
Because like I can buy a used car from someone and it breaks, but that person never knows, was I driving it like a maniac? Was I driving it rough? Or what are all, there's a lot of liability on the person who's buying the car to do their own due diligence as well. Yeah.
Do you think every Class 2 license in Walpole has repairs on site?
I mean, I thought I met a guy selling cars out of his garage or something
Yeah.
like.
Oh, I
They
know
don't.
that.
Like,
They don't.
No.
The place up on Route 1 that used to be the Pizza Hut, they don't have repairs there.
Right.
I mean,
So what we're saying is no
Yeah.
repairs
the
on site.
intent of trying to condition it without repairs is so that if he decides at some point in the future he wants to do repairs, he'll come back. and
Right.
ask for that
Right.
additional, because we know we conditioned it out of the decision on this one.
yeah, I think we can do that.
Okay.
I think- And we're not anything against you, we want to just make sure it's
No,
done
I
right.
know.
no, I understand.
Particularly where the building's already been approved.
Yeah.
And it's set up for one thing, and you're like adding a use, but we want to just make sure that the use you're doing is only selling cars, not
Absolutely.
servicing cars.
Yeah, we have no need or want to.
You really can't make them do that either, too, in terms
We
of,
can-
you can't have them have a repair service
No,
on site. It doesn't intend
right,
to.
it's,
Yeah.
we're not making it, we're just saying that the special permit is approved with the condition that no repairs will take place on on site.
Yeah.
That goes back to the original wording. Are you okay with that now?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. You know more about car sales than anybody
I don't
here.
know about that. I was on the wholesale side, I wasn't on the retail.
No. Okay. You know a lot about these car sales. so-
Clearly.
You comfortable with
Some
it?
Yeah,
experts.
I'm comfortable with it.
Okay, good. So at this point, seeing that there's nobody from the audience that's going to say anything, do you want to close the hearing?
Yes, please.
Okay. At the request of the applicant, does somebody want to close the hearing?
So moved.
Moved by Judy.
Second.
Second by Mark. Any further discussion on this? Okay. So does somebody want to make a motion?
Is there any
To-
additional conditions you want?
No, I think the only, because all we're doing is approving this. What do you mean, like drains or anything? Or?
No, like all sales and display conducted within the building, no vehicles in excess of current capacity, or, I'm just was writing notes when you guys were talking.
Yeah. Okay, I think.
It's up to you.
First off, I think it's probably good to do that only because we've been burned on some issues in the past. So, no expansion on the number of vehicles already permitted.
Yep.
And the original condition that we talked about, no repairs on site. And what was the other one you had?
Well, all sales and display conducted within the building. I'm not sure if I want to.
Yeah, it's all appointment only anyways. We don't have a lot of parking space outside to begin with.
And I already, one of the first things I asked about was the signage. You're not going to have signs out there, so, but Patrick, to your point, we don't want to see banner signs out there at some point, so.
Could sell it in some.
What was your wording as far as all
I said
sales?
All sales and display conducted within the building.
Within the building.
Yeah, we're not gonna have any inflatables or anything like that.
Yeah.
Do you currently have outside storage?
No,
No.
no.
And you say you won't have outside storage, but
No, we don't have the space outside, and we're not set up for that, no. Yeah, I think we only have like 30 parking spots to begin with, so it's pretty tight on our property.
are those 30 site spots filled? That's
No.
outside?
No, yeah.
That's like customers.
Those are like customers
Okay,
and
yeah.
parking
Just
for people. Yeah, no storage outside.
But I think the other condition that you just mentioned, a
Yeah.
bit about all sales are inside, that's fine for.
I had the question whether it's the select board or us as far as hours of operation.
I'm going to leave that to,
I think that was in the original, when they were doing the building. I think they had something about that.
Okay.
the hours of operation. It's also the highway business district. I'm not too concerned about hours of operation on that. So. And I think that's with the, that would be with the license.
Okay.
Okay. Did you have something else?
No, I was just talking to Lauren.
Okay.
We already closed anyway, right?
Yeah. No, I just want to, we're just working on the decision. Okay. So, so we already closed it, and now we're just working out what would be in it. So, does somebody want to make a motion to approve case number 2511 for Car Barn with the 3 conditions that we described?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mark, second by Shane. Any further discussion? Do you have a question?
No.
Okay. Okay. So it's been moved, seconded. No further discussion. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, so carried. Okay. Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck
So
with
what's
your
the
business.
next step for me?
So we'll get you a decision. It'll need to be clocked in with the town clerk. It's a 20-day appeal period. Continue at your own risk. You basically go to the select board and say, hey, I've got a, I guess, approval. from the zoning board
Do I
for
need to
use.
show like,
Yeah, you're gonna want the decision. from
okay,
the
so
zoning-
that'll just come to me in an email or something?
we mail it to you.
Yeah,
But
okay.
we can provide you a digital copy as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Great.
All set?
All good?
All right,
Good luck.
thank you.
Okay, good night.
Thank you.
Is Kevin with this one? He started, he's coming back. But, yeah. He's always been such a tough kid. I know.
Okay, we have 2 other things that we should discuss tonight. One is the list of meetings scheduled for the next year. And we see pretty much 2 meetings every month. The one is in red. Let's see, I guess a couple months, April, it looks like we only have, April and May, we only have one meeting scheduled. But the red one is sort of like the optional meeting. We try not to fill that up, but if we have to, we can. But I think this looks pretty good. If there's conflicts, I don't know about any conflicts with me, but
Not this far out.
No, it's tough to
Yeah.
tough for me, too.
I always look at school vacation weeks if that applies for people, but, it looked okay to me if there's, unless somebody sees something.
The only thing I saw was, like, when we have if we do use the alternate meeting, they seem to be like the last week of the month on a Monday, and then we have the next
Yeah.
regular meeting is right
Yeah,
on the
it's like-
heels of
yeah,
it.
like 10 days later, kind of.
I don't know if helps us with scheduling, and was there a reason why they jumped not to the first and third?
I think some of them had holidays like on that third Monday, so it was the last one, but they should be the third Monday.
Yeah, so like,
Okay. Yeah.
like January, it's not because of Martin Luther King Day.
Yeah,
Right.
but, yeah.
Okay, all right. Those are the ones that,
Yeah, in
I
September,
wasn't-
same thing because of Labor Day.
okay.
And I would imagine we'd probably really limit or plan these out if we were using them.
If they're on the heels of the regular meeting,
Yeah,
they come,
yeah.
okay. Or the next regular meeting is 10 days later.
But one of the things that we've actually been doing a good job with, and, Patrick and Lauren, I commend you for this, is, we haven't been coming in for many single meetings. We want to try to avoid those because board members' time is valuable.
Second to that.
Okay, so, do we need to vote on that?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I mean,
No.
it's,
Okay.
something comes up, we can always
Put it
talk
on my
about it then.
calendar for next year with my dentist appointments.
But we do need to vote on the minutes. This was a short meeting we had back on October 1st. Does somebody want to, if you reviewed it?
I did.
Does somebody want to make a motion to approve the minutes of October 1st?
So moved.
Moved by Mark,
Second.
second by Shane. Any further discussion on that? Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed,
Abstain.
abstained, so
I'm going to abstain just because I was not part of the meeting
okay.
till the end.
Okay, so Judy abstained. so. Okay, but you were here for part of the meeting.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
I don't miss meetings, John.
I know.
You know that.
Okay, does anybody have anything else? Patrick?
Dave Anderson, I know you probably have got the email, so Dave had to resign from the board. I think it was just kind of similar to Bob, work conflict, wasn't able to make the meeting dates. So at this point, there is an open seat, and so that's, in terms of whatever the select board does, I'm not
Yeah,
entirely
and Shane, you expressed interest in becoming
Permanent, yeah,
a full
or
member.
full-time, yep,
Yeah,
for sure.
so, did you notify the select board of?
No, I have not. The only email I sent was to
Yeah.
you. I mean, I can,
So I think yesterday so anytime they get a resignation, they have to accept the resignation, and it's usually on their agenda. So I saw Dave was on there yesterday, so I probably could just send an email to IFA or to the select board.
I can do that, or a select board member, or,
No.
I go IFA Kelly's
Just
there.
IFA, yeah. all right,
Good,
I can do that.
Okay. All right, anything else? So, and we'll be looking for a new member, so would you also let the,
Yeah.
or, you know what, I'll do that. I'll let the select board know that we need a new alternate member. So, okay. Okay, anything else?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving to everybody, my favorite holiday.
Today's my birthday.
Happy
Today's
birthday.
Oh, wow, okay, well, that's great being here on your birthday.
Nothing like
Okay,
celebrating the zone.
all those in favor, does somebody want to make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Moved by Judy,
Second.
second by Mark. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All right.